They've prepared for this very moment, taking it all in. Strategies planned, adjustments made, belts are fastened. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get racing.
I finally know why I can't get an answer. I finally know why I feel like a number. They keep a secret into their mind. They never talk you fan for telling lies. Make me feel at least like a monster. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can find a place.
What happened to Mordog? Did he run out of fuel? Looks like, guys, he ran out of fuel. Just making moves all over the place. 48 tries to dive down low. Here comes Lucky Dog. He's going to let him know I am here and I am not happy. 38 is out of gas. Robots under the apron.
I finally know why they don't speak louder. There is a secret that won't be mine. They never talk until the
Slide into the turn. These guys are battling it out.
Make me feel at least like a monster. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can find a place.
Checkered flag is waving. We have a winner here tonight.
World of things I'll never know. 'Cause everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everything's
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AKA's Cup Series Round 4 at Homestead. Now, 2 weeks ago at Vegas, we saw dominant drivers have an early end to their night, including Garbage, who arguably had the fastest car of the race, and Mordog, who ran up front until a blown engine took him to the garage. A frustrated Dohar, who had his night ended by a car coming off a pit road late in the race, he ended up handing the win over to Tedeschi when he slammed into the Bolt, who was battling for the win. With another chance for a win tonight, who are we going to see take home the checkered flag? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. But before we head to the track at Homestead, we need to welcome tonight's drivers for the Driver Spotlight, where we talk to the drivers in the league and get to know them just a little bit better. So, let's welcome our Driver Spotlight's TAC 24, who drives the number 37 and is 14th in points with 62, and Ramsit, who drives the number 2 car. He has 64 points. He's sitting in 12th currently. So welcome, gentlemen. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing good.
Awesome. It's really cool to be back. I know we had a 2-week break, so it is cool to be back. Absolutely. All right, we're going to start with TAC 24. Your question tonight, one of your first questions is, Blue Bacchus' question for you is, if you were to get a 7-day all-expense-paid trip and you could take 3 people with you, who would you take, where would you go, and why?
I'd probably take my girlfriend, my mom, and my brother. I'd probably go to like the Caribbeans or somewhere nice. Somewhere I haven't been, you know?
Yeah. I think you should save a spot for me if that's where you're going. Any more seats? I'll take up a suitcase maybe. Why would you go to the Caribbean? Just someplace where you haven't gone before?
Yeah, and it's somewhere warm, and I haven't been to the ocean yet.
You haven't? Oh man, you definitely need to go then.
Definitely.
All right, Ramsit, your question from Little Wing is, what track would you like to go to that you have yet to attend?
Well, I got to say, I probably got to say Michigan.
Oh, nice.
It's super fast, and it's one of my favorites. Always been wanting to go there, and I think maybe next year a road trip's in order. My wife's brother lives about 2 hours from the track, so we could kill 2 birds with one stone. We'd go to the race, and she could get to see her brother. You know?
Aw, yeah, that would be awesome. How many tracks have you been to
Yeah,
so
it'd be
far?
I've been to, Watkins Glen, Loudon, Dover, Richmond, Talladega, Daytona, Texas.
Seriously?
Dang,
I've been
That's-
there. Yeah,
that's
I've been to quite
crazy.
a
that's
few.
a lot of
yeah.
tracks.
That is a lot
I
of
usually
tracks.
go to I usually go to Daytona every year.
Mhm.
I have a pretty good hookup down there for some tickets,
Oh,
so
nice.
it's a lot of fun, you know.
I'm a little jealous. I want to go to Dega or Bristol. I haven't been to those two yet, so that's on the bucket list.
Yeah, Bristol.
You just picked
Bristol's
me up on
another
the way,
one, too,
Ramsdale.
Yeah,
What's that?
we could all hang.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, Texas, it's a beautiful facility, boy,
And J-Mac would know.
and it's a nice place. Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, this question is for both of you. We'll start with Tack. With 3 times wear for this season, has your strategy and tunes changed, and how have you adjusted to it so far?
The tunes have definitely changed. I haven't figured them out yet. The Pro League drivers have definitely got the one up on us,
Right.
probably, most of us. With fuel strategy, I cannot figure that out, but it's definitely coming along. Hopefully in the new game, we have something different to go by.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they do have a one-up on you guys for that, but I feel like you're one that we need to keep our eye on, that you're going to improve week by week, and especially like you said, you and I were talking earlier, on the new game, most of you guys are going to be on a level playing field, so that's going to kind of even you guys out, and I feel like you're really going to shine over there.
Appreciate it.
All right, Ramsit, same question, 3 times where?
Yeah.
What's changed for you?
I feel about the same as Tack does there with that. A few mileage.
Yeah.
Mileage strategy is a little bit tougher. I know. I did do a little tweaking a little bit, and I think you got to be a little bit more conservative on how you drive, and it's all pits too.
Absolutely.
You screw up in the pits, and it costs you a race
It's
or
true.
a good finish.
Right.
Yeah. So, you drive conservative and try not to overdrive the car, which but it is a big difference.
I'm excited to see what you guys can do over there, and it is more of a level playing field. Everyone's going to be new to it, so it'll be very interesting to see how you guys handle it
Yeah.
over there, and especially this is all new too. Times 3 wear, so there's a lot of new stuff going on
Yeah.
for you guys, and you guys are handling it very well. All right, Tack.
Yeah, thanks.
Your final question. What is your question that I should ask Dohar next week?
If he had an opportunity to be in the pits for one race, what would he do? Would he be try to do the pit strategy, or change the tires?
Oh,
something.
cool.
What would he work?
Yeah, definitely. But I gotta ask you, what would you work on?
I would definitely want to try to do the tire changing.
Nice. I would be all sorts of fumbling with that, so I'd be terrible. All right, Ramsit, what is your question that I should ask Mordog next week?
Well, I'm pretty sure I seen him a comment that he made once that he works in construction. So, me being, I worked in construction for 36 years, and I'd be kind of curious to know, what he's going to do, what he does there. Is he a laborer right now, and is he going to take up a trade? Because we need the more trademans we have, the better we're going to be.
Right.
So I'm just
right.
curious to know if he's going to take up a specific trade or not,
Very cool questions. I love that. All right, guys, you heard it from Tack and Ramsit here tonight. I wish you guys a ton of luck here at Homestead. I'm excited to see what you guys have brought
Thank you.
to the track tonight. So a lot of luck. They're going to get started in qualifying in a few minutes, so we're going to send you guys on your way. Don't want you to be late, but thank you so much for joining in the booth tonight.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frozen.
All right, take it
Yeah.
easy, guys. Good luck.
You got
See
it.
ya.
Thank you.
I want to give a warm welcome to everyone in chat. We have Duck King. We have Game out there. You guys, welcome aboard. We're going to go ahead and bring out betting, although it is a little early. We don't have qualifying out there. Rock, what's up, man? How are ya? We also have J-Mac, as always, in the booth. How you doing tonight, J-Mac?
I'm doing just lovely tonight, Frozen.
Awesome. Awesome. What do you think we can see here tonight at Homestead? It's going to be fast, but where do you think they might struggle at, and what should we look out for?
Well, it wasn't that long ago that we got to watch these guys race here, so I expect more of the same of that. A lot of good racing, probably some single file. These guys tend to have, at these bigger tracks, these drivers have been pretty conservative at the starts of these races, so I imagine some single file racing, some taking it easy, but then once the tires start to wear, I think you'll see drivers try to take advantage of each other and work their way up and get a little track position. So Homestead's a nice track. It's a good racing place. It's a place where you can fight back on the outside or where you can make passes. So it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a fun race to watch.
I think so, and it can be a little bit tricky out there. It can get slippery. Once you get that tire wear on, these guys are on 3 times wear. They do have damage on. So we've said it for 2 seasons now. If you have to repair that damage, you're going to slow down about 2/10, which can be detrimental to your race out there. If you're going up against one other person and they don't have damage, I mean, that's definitely going to hurt you in the long run. But let's talk about what we can expect for tonight. We have 134 laps here at Homestead. First stage is going to be around 39 laps, and they can run about 20 laps for fuel. So they're going to have to make 1 pit stop for stage 1 and 2. They should be able to be okay as far as, last week we saw that they had to save a lap, and that got Wow That's Garbage in trouble. He could not hang on to it, so he ended up losing the lead for stage 1. I don't think we're going to see that issue here tonight. These guys are running around a 30.2 second lap time here, so it'll be pretty close, but 134 laps? Anything can happen here tonight. They're getting ready to go to qualifying, so a lot of stuff can happen, but I want to talk about, we've had 3 races so far. We've had Jose, he won at the opening race for Michigan. Dohar, he won at Dega, and then everyone saw Vegas. Tedeschi won after Dohar, and Bolt got into it. Bolt was challenging Tedeschi for the win, but Dohar kind of ended that night for him as far as that win goes. Do you think we're going to see any rivalries happening tonight, J-Mac? You think we're going to see anything happen from that?
I don't know. It depends on how everyone drives each other. There are definitely some drivers out there with some short fuses with each other. There's a decent chance we could see a little purposeful contact, but I wouldn't say it's a given that it's going to happen or that it's even likely. But I could see some things. There are a couple of drivers out there who rub each other the wrong way, and yeah, if they get a little aggressive with each other, I could definitely see someone put into the wall at a very rapid pace.
I think it's going to depend on what happens this race. I think it's been 2 weeks since the last race, and so I think emotions have calmed down since. However, I think it's going to depend on what happens on track tonight. If buttons are pushed and people are pushing the boundaries, like you said, I'm not going to be surprised if someone bites back with that. Before we go into the race, though, let's look at the points for AKA. You can see there we have Tedeschi in the lead with 152 points. We have Dohar in second, and he had a tough race last time. He got taken out from somebody who was coming off the pit road. He's in second with 121 points. Expert Toaster making his way through the point standings here. I feel like this is a driver you guys really need to look out for. He has improved race after race, so he's in third with 120 points. Jose, who is our championship winner from the spring session there, he is currently in fourth after having a win even. He has 110 points. Moordog in 5th with 97, Pro Boss in 6th with 96. We have the Bolt with 94 in 7th, Wonder in 8th with 91. I don't think you're going to see him here tonight, though. We have Blue Baka, who was last week's driver spotlight. He is in 9th with 82. And AKA Freaky Fast, he's in 10th with 76, but you guys can see the points there. It's going to be a packed field with 20 plus drivers. It can get very intense out there. We have Rock NASCAR. He says, happy hour was intense, and you are not kidding me. it was intense. And we have Blue Baka. He's placing a bet out there for Wonder. And I'm hoping Wonder shows up. If not, I will give you your points back. But I do not think he's going to be there. And I'm surprised you don't know that, Blue Baka. We have Mordog saying, good luck tonight, boys. I'm in North Carolina. Are you going to be here tonight, Mordog, if you're in North Carolina? We'll have to find out from him if he'll be here. But we've been here, like you said, J-Mac, before. Who do you think we can look out to see in victory lane tonight? Who won the last Homestead race? Was that Jose?
That was Jose that won.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Jose because he won the championship.
Right.
Well, not Mordog because he's a bunch of states away. So let's see. Who do we see winning tonight? Well, I mean, obviously you got to go with Jose. Bolt was fast. Let's see.
I think Tedeschi has a great chance. Yeah.
Tedeschi's going to have a great chance. Pro Boss was one who kind of snuck up on us, being one of the fastest cars there.
Absolutely.
At Homestead, so he could definitely be a thing. The thing is that with all these big tracks on this game, is that the draft can play a huge part in keeping everybody in it. So there's a long list of drivers who will have a shot at some point. It just matters if they can keep their cars a little cleaner than others.
That's the biggest thing. Keep your car clean. Try to stay out front if you can, and keep that draft. It is a draft track that matters, but to me, the most important thing is strategy and keeping that car clean. If you don't have those two things, it can really bite you. Toasted Gamer, thank you so much for joining in. He says, I have to do all my school homework now. That does not sound like fun, but I am sure glad that you can join us here tonight. Mordog will not be joining us. He is, as JMX says, states away. So we're not going to see him here tonight, sadly. But I hope you're having fun out there. But a couple of more minutes and we should be getting ready to go to Homestead. And I got to tell you what, I'm excited. This is our last race on NASCAR Heat 3. We're moving over to NASCAR Heat 4 next weekend. And we've talked about it tonight. It is going to be more of a level playing field for these guys. They all have to figure this out. Everything's going to be new and it's going to feel very differently. And I have a feeling we're going to see a couple of things being shaked up out there. Man, what do you think we can see out there on Heat 4? Do you think we're going to see a little bit more caution starting off? Or do you think they're going to play it fairly safe when we move over?
Well, one thing with Heat 4, I think it's the way that the racing is going to be. I believe that there's going to be less opportunity for cautions because these drivers are going to have a little more options as far as lines to take. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's going to take there's going to be a learning curve for everybody, and that can cause incidents if someone is getting up to speed a little slower than others. But I think we're going to see fewer cautions and better racing once we get over to Heat 4, and once everyone gets acclimated. That first race could be potentially kind of rough, but given that it's a big, wide, multi-groove track, I think a lot of these guys are going to be okay. The long run is going to be tough for these drivers to get used to. The cars do get really, really slick. So that's going to be the one thing they're going to have to look for is initially, off the start, these guys are going to be able to race each other really hard, but it's going to be who can hold on to their cars once the grip starts to go away, and who is kind of figured that out and isn't too aggressive with their setups.
Right. I mean, we've all heard from 704 that tire wear is going to be a thing over there. That is just something that these drivers are going to have to look out for, even more so than what we're seeing here. And they're already on ×3 wear, so I'm excited to see how they handle it. and what they can do. I feel like they're going to be pretty conservative on the first race. They're all just trying to feel it out and get acclimated to it. So we're going to see what happens, but these guys are getting ready to go to the race. We're going to expect an invite anytime soon for Homestead. It's going to be, how many laps is that? 134 laps. First stage, 39 laps. So it's going to be pretty crazy. Halfway point of first stage, we're going to see these guys pitting. I don't think you're going to be able to pit early, do a short stop there. We're going to see what they do, but some people might have different strategies, but I think one stop around lap 20 is what we're going to see tonight. The final stage, you guys always see it. It gets crazy out there. That's where things really get interesting. I think we're going to see a fairly calm first and second stage for the beginning. The end of those stages is going to be a different story, J-Mac. We're here, and let's get going to the race, the Homestead Miami Speedway. 134 laps of craziness. I'm excited, J-Mac.
I am as well. And let's take a quick gander. AKA Doc is on the pole with Jose second. So Jose continues to be really, really fast.
Doc on the pole. Nice. We got Jose on the outside. Let's take a look at this when we get in here. But damage is on, guys. So it is something that we're going to look out for. But way to go for Doc on the pole. That's really awesome for him tonight. Let's take a look. We do have the 41, Doc 88. He is still out there leading the field. We have 43 of Jose directly behind him, and we have 88 of Dohar. Very strong driver at the moment. We have Doc going on that high side. From what I'm hearing from the two driver spotlights tonight of Tack and Ramsett, there are a lot of fast drivers tonight, and I think we're going to see a heck of a race. I'm excited to see what these guys can do. Let's take a look at that 43. That is Jose. He was our spring championship winner. He is currently sitting in third with Dohar directly in front of him. And we have, look at that, we have Expert Toaster directly behind Jose. Blue Baka down there looking pretty fast. But I'm hearing that we have Tedeschi out there with damage. Might be going into pits to fix that. I didn't hear the end of that, but over the radio it sounds like it's getting interesting already from the beginning of this.
Yeah, he's already half a track back and riding around with a ton of damage is no fun at all. Now you have to weigh whether you want to come in and get that fixed early and then just try to make ground up through yellows, or if you want to just ride it around with it and hope that once you get back to the draft that it's good enough to at least compete.
We had a little battle brewing up here for a second. In the meantime, Doc just trying to get away.
We have a big battle brewing.
We sure do, man. We have Dohar and Jose fighting it out for second, and man, it is too wide all the way back through here. We have the 8 doing a great job hanging in there. These guys are looking pretty good out here. That's Tom Tom in that 8 car. Expert Toaster getting a little loose. 3 wide, we have Freaky Fast. 3 wide out here. These guys are going crazy so far, and there's not a laps that we have completed yet.
Yeah, Freaky Fast didn't want to be 3 wide, but the 10 lost so much momentum, he got there, and then he got hooked in there. Oh, the 10 clears himself in front of the 18. I think those two have a history of working together, though, so that might have been calculated, but man, that was close.
That was very close. We have Tom Tom diving down low, trying to make up position. What a fantastic move on his part. That moves him up to third as Dohar falls back on that inside. We have 10 at Expert Toaster. He is directly behind Tom Tom in that 8, and these guys are looking pretty good. Looks like they're getting a little loose. Dohar coming off that turn. Very, very close out there. I'm hearing that we had the 4 out there on the apron. He moves back from that. We have Dohar losing it on the apron. Tries to save it. He's going into pit road.
Get some damage.
Man, brutal for him. Not a good start. J-Mac, do you know if he actually got sent into pit road or was he able to hang out of it?
he's driving down pit road, which leads me to believe that he got sent down pit road, which might mean that his damage is just lag damage and it isn't actually on the car. So he might get lucky if he doesn't try to repair it. But yeah, just real unfortunate. Either way, he's gonna lose a ton of track position here.
Absolutely.
Just really unfortunate.
We're driving up here with 2 of Ramsey. He was one of our driver spotlights. He says that he's got a pretty good car. He's figuring it out, and I'll tell you what, he is moving up through the field, trying to save it. Man, did I jinx him. He gets loose coming off of turn 2, gets into the wall. Tough break for him.
Right now, cars being a little loose and touching that apron right now is causing some issues for these drivers. Oh, the 10 sends it on the 41. That was an interesting move, and that's gonna send the 41 back to 4th.
I saw that,
Possibly
J-Mac.
5th.
Aerial view on the 10 car. Expert just kind of sending it in there. Pushes that 41 out of the way. He moves up to 2nd through that. But man, that was a close call for them. We have the Bolt in the 18. Looking pretty good on that inside, but I'll tell you what, this is what I was expecting. A lot of these guys are getting loose on the bottom, and that's Homestead for you. You got to find that line that your car likes, and it is very, very tough to make sure that you can go too wide when you need to. You really have to make sure that you have found all the perfect tire pressures to make sure that thing can run where you want it to go.
And also, if you run just a little too high, if you're trying to run that low line, there's like a little crease, there's a transition, there's a seam, whatever you want to call it, just about a lane and a half up the track, and if you get up into it, it can really, really loosen up the car. But these guys, it's almost like they're getting a little tight off the corner because they keep coming up into each other a little bit off of exit. But the 32 got up into the 10 and lost a ton of momentum, and he just got into the 41 and sent the 41 into the wall. Really unfortunate after the strong start he had.
Tom Flitty in the lead here with that 8 car. We are 29 to go. Not too long before these guys are going to have to make a pit stop. And man, it has been very interesting so far. These guys are not playing conservative at all so far. Tom making his way up to the front. We have Expert Toaster in 2nd. We have the 32 of Cappy Go Fast. He is currently sitting in 3rd. Let's take our look back through the field here. We are currently looking at the 18 of the Bolt, who we saw 2 weeks ago. He got punted out of the way by Dohar after they had a situation going on here, but Tom on the apron, he saves it, but that is going to make him lose the lead. Man, tough for them. A lot of these guys, J-Mac, are just losing it on the apron.
Just by himself with really no pressure, he gets the apron. That just shows how tough this track is and how easy it is to lose trust in your car and to kind of misjudge the grip level and how it's going to handle. It's really easy to kind of turn into the corner and it to hook on you and have a lot more grip than you think it's going to have and to clip that apron. And then, of course, if you slide out the rear end when you're running that low line, you kind of, if you can't get it to turn back to the right for you, you have nowhere to go but down to the apron, and then that just finishes off spinning you out. Did a nice job saving that car, but he went from first to the very back of this pack here.
He sure did. And Expert Toaster, he is up here as the new leader. He is currently coming up on the 42 of MDL. He's going to pass him at a pretty good spot, luckily for him. But I'll tell you what, Homestead, it looks like it can be gentle, but man, I'll tell you what, it is not. These turns, they can really mess with you. Your rear end can get out from underneath you. And we're seeing a lot of these guys hitting the apron from it. And with 3 times wear, it can be pretty rough out there. So I think we're going to see some guys going in. But we have the 32 diving in underneath. He is trying to make a move. Can he make it happen? That is Cappy Go Fast trying to go for the lead here as the Bolt moving up high behind Expert Toaster. We have Jose and currently in 4th on that high side. Not a lot of takers for the low side, but we have the 88 out there behind the 32. They're trying to make a move for it.
Yeah, the 18 stuck with the 10 there when the 32 got a pretty good run and tried to make the pass, but It's just so hard to keep the throttle down off of these corners. These guys are having to use pretty much the whole track, so the bottom is kind of at a deficit right now.
It is, absolutely. We're on board with that 18, and he is just kind of chilling behind Expert Toaster here. These guys look like they're trying to take it pretty easy. I mean, there's no sense at this moment to make any sudden crazy moves. He's still got pit road as we have the 32 of Cappy. He gets into Dohar, gets sent back up into the wall. Nice recovery on his end, but man, that could have been a pretty bad situation there, but they handled themselves very nicely. You can see that 21 of Proboss making his way.
I really thought these drivers were going to start off relatively single file, and instead they have been on top of each other trying to make passes. And it's been very entertaining to watch, but there have been a couple of drivers who I don't think are very happy right now.
I mean, 2-week break, and these guys are just ready to go at it. They're just going off where they left off. But man, these guys are definitely trying to make moves, and that's even before the first pit stop. We have guys coming in as takers for pit road. We have the 32 in. We have Proboss in the 21. He is going into pit road. We have 22 of Tedeschi. All of these guys are taker. Let's take a look. We have 3 wide. We have 18 on the outside. We have Toaster right in the middle. Dohar on the inside. He decides to take it back up the track. 3 wide for the lead here. Absolutely incredible. Is he a lap down?
Dohar's a lap down currently. Because
yeah, 18 going in. All your leaders currently going in. We have the Bolt. We have Toaster. We have Jose. Every last one of them going in. Trying to find our new leader out
still
here.
Out on the field. I believe it's probably Blue Baca in the 3, but I would imagine he is coming to pit road soon, and as I say
there
that,
he goes.
is ducking down.
Everyone is going in. A lot of takers. Like I said earlier, I don't think there's going to be a lot of play and strategy as far as hanging out or, making a short stop. It's pretty cut and dry. We have the 22 wrecked out. He is turning around, trying to get back on the road. He's got some damage on the hood of that car. I don't know if he's going to have to go in, but not a good start for him so far.
That damage could potentially just be lag damage from pitting. On our screens, they come in and smack the wall. So it looks like they get damage every time they try to go to pit road. But this can be a really, really tough pit road to exit. It's very flat, and everyone is trying to get all the speed they can get, and it's surrounded by grass on both sides. So if you stick a tire out in the grass, or you stay at the throttle a little too long and slide the rear end a little bit, it can bite you, and it apparently got the 22 there.
Absolutely. I mean, when I got my camera on, he was completely turned around and stopped. He let traffic go by and got back on the road. So I'm looking at Jose out here in the 43. He's got a pack of 3 with him. He's got Toaster and the Bolt. I'm thinking that he is the new leader out here, and he's looking pretty strong, I have to say.
I am thinking that is correct. So we currently have a 3-car breakaway here for that's going to end up being your battle for the stage win.
Not a lot of stages and stage points. Not a lot of laps left for this stage. Stage points.
There are not a lot of stages.
Stage points mean a ton for this group. I mean, we see Jose. You saw it right after the first race. He won the race, but he was not first in points. He didn't have the stage points that he needed to get there. So we saw another guy, I believe it was Dohar at the time. He had the lead in points simply because he had all the stage wins and points needed to get the win. So stage points is everything, guys. You have to get those. And 43, we saw him at the beginning of the season. We had an interview with him. He said, you know what, I'm trying to make my presence known earlier on. I seem to not do so good at the beginning of the season, so I need to change that. I need to grab those stage points. And here he is doing exactly that. He needs those stage points, and if he can hang on to it, what a great padding for him if he could do that. distance between these guys, though. This pack of 3, and we have a pack of 2 behind them, but it's a couple of seconds back there. But we have Expert Toaster. He's not interested in staying single file right now. He kind of wants to go for the lead here.
Jose running a very interesting line. He's diving it into 1 pretty low and then sliding up the track midway through the corner before he even gets to 2, and then running the outside, and then going into 3, he's entering really high and staying up high. So he's running the outside line, except in turn 1 to enter. So it's a very, very unique line, and one that actually is really good for defense down the front stretch. But he's going to be really, really tough to pass because he is, as we know, one of the best drivers in this field at running that outside line.
Absolutely. I mean, Jose is known to be the guy that loves to drive that outside, and he is an expert at it. I mean, the guy loves it, but Toaster, he's diving underneath, trying to go for that win. He's got a little bit of an edge. Can he hold on to it? The Bolt is back there. He's got behind Jose, and that's going to help him out. But, man, Toaster is putting up quite the battle out here. You can see it now. These guys side by side once again, and you can just see how well their car is ripping on. And I say that, and Toaster gets up into Jose just a little bit. They hang on to it, J-Mac.
Yeah, that was coming out of the exit, and he was right up there, right when the banking kind of tries to grab you and give you a little bit of extra grip so that you don't hit the wall. And it looked like it just about turned him around, and he made a nice save. And Jose's really lucky that didn't put him in the wall, it looked like. But and a nice job of Bolt to back off and give the 10 somewhere to kind of save the car too. So a really, really, really tight and sketchy situation that these 3 drivers did a nice job of avoiding any actual comeuppance from.
Absolutely. You guys are seeing this race so far here tonight. Let me know in chat what you think as we hit 10 to go. Who do you expect to win the first stage? Who is your favorite here tonight? Jose is currently your leader. We have Expert Toaster in second. We have the Bolt in third. Let me see if I can take a look. We have Dohar, 88, going off the track, going through the grass. Really tough night for him tonight.
He was exiting pit road, and he did exactly what the 22 did a little bit ago. And yes, a very, very, very tough night for him. And he had to pit again. He has to be 2 laps down now. I think he's at least 1, maybe 2. And another excellent driver about to go a lap down is that 22, it looked like.
Yeah.
And he is a lap down now.
A lap down, and hopefully he can make that up. They're gonna need a caution. I don't want to jinx him, but we've been caution free so far tonight, as I believe we're hitting 8 to go.
Up.
I mean, there is the end of the stage, so he should get a lap back as we go to that. But if he is more than 1 lap down, he's gonna have an issue.
And also, if these drivers catch that car up ahead of him, that would be a big issue for him as well. Unless that might be the 42, who I think is about to go a 2nd lap down as well. Just based on my mental math, either that or he might have tried some strategy, and maybe the car is really falling off from that. But yeah, I believe he's going to go 2 laps down here, if I had to guess.
43
So
passing 42 of MDL.
Still your free pass.
Yeah, let's hope he is for his sake. We have Toasted Gamer says, it's crazy. Also, I think Toaster will win stage 1. This guy, I'll tell you what, Toaster, we used to say he would hang out midfield or in the back for most of the race and then make his way through towards the end of the race. But I'll tell you what, this season, he's not doing that. This guy is all about being up front and staying out there. We have a 6 to go, J-Mac.
And right now, Toaster has kind of lost these front 2. He's going to need a little bit of help, a little bit of draft, and he might be close enough. Actually, I think he is close enough to be able to latch on here. But he's dangerously far behind. He could not afford another slip-up, or else he is going to be out of this battle. And, it looks like Jose's car might be falling away from him as he got really high right up against that wall.
Yeah, we're on board with Expert Toaster in that 10 car. The Bolt, I feel like he is quietly trying to stay up there, and then he is just going to make a run for it. once that stage end happens, but he looks very solid out there. I haven't seen too many mistakes from him, honestly. He looks pretty good. Same with Jose, Expert Toaster.
Jose!
Man, Jose almost into the wall, saves it from hitting the wall, but very, very close. His car has got to be getting tight as we come to the final parts of the stage.
He is testing every bit of that banking. Like I said earlier, it kind of grabs you up in that high line and steers you away from the wall. He is testing that to its limits. And it's really crazy. He's kind of gone away from that high line a little bit. Now, as I say that, he's back up there, but he's been entering really low and then sliding up basically as
18
far as he
diving
possibly
low
can.
for the lead. 3 to go, and the 18 is just trying to make a move for the lead. Jose, his car is
And I
just
think he'll make
dying
it.
down. 18, is he gonna do a slide job? Can he hold on to it? Jose moves it down low so he doesn't get trapped behind him. These guys are side by side for the lead. Absolutely incredible. 18 just pulling off that slide job, but Jose is just trying to answer back here. He's gonna pull off a slide job on him. Bolt gets into the wall a little bit. Can he hang it off the wall? These guys are getting crazy, J-Mac.
It's really, really good racing. Oh, Toaster gives a look at the 18, threw a big old block on him. The 18 not going to be clear here. Maybe he's going to clear himself.
These guys, slide job after slide job, they just keep crossing each other over. We have Jose and the Bolt just continuously fighting for this win here, for stage 1 win, and it is going to be
Bolt's got
so
it.
incredibly close. Bolt is your leader right now, but Jose is looking to make another move, trying to make that happen so that he can get that stage 1. Expert Toaster, can he do anything about it? I mean, these two are just fighting. This might be the final lap here for the stage.
Oh, the Bolt was going to run away with it, and he just got the wall just a little bit.
43
That's gonna hurt his
diving it
momentum.
down. Can he hold on to it? This is the final part. Bolt gets a huge run. Absolutely crazy. Bolt looks like he is going to take stage 1 win. Absolutely incredible racing. What a great stage 1. We have the
It was
Bolt.
a great stage 1, the 43 car. Just not as good on the long run as that 18 car. It is just way too tight, and just a really, really good job of making the pass there and holding on to the lead.
That was intense. You can't ask for any better racing. We have the Bolt as the winner for stage 1. Did Jose or Expert Toaster take it for second?
Jose was second.
I thought he was, but the computer has a Toaster up there, so I wasn't quite sure. But man, we have Bolt in first, Jose in second, Expert in third. That is your top 3 for stage 1. We're gonna get moving on stage 2, and folks, if this is how stage 1 went, can you imagine stage 2? I mean, fantastic racing. You can't ask for anything better. I'm curious how strategy is going to work out. The 41 of Doc staying out there. He is going to lead us off for stage 2. Quite the surprise out here. Can his tires hold out? We're going to take a look here.
That might be 2 tires. That might be a mistake in not pitting. We're going to have to find out here.
We're going to find out in a second, but he did not have a great start, but he is currently, he's moving now. I hear Tedeschi is 1 lap down. We have Dohar and MDL 2 laps down. Doc moves it up on the high side. Bolt is trying to push him to the front here, but man, and they are getting bunched up on that high side. We have Doc on the outside, Bolt behind him, Toaster right behind that 18. Very, very close. And in the meantime, look who manages to get out front. We have Jose as your leader.
Yeah, Jose's car fires off very, very fast. Falls off just a little bit, gets a little tight on the long run, but he is so quick here in the first half of these runs. The 41 being up front, it's going to be interesting to see, A, how well he can hold on here, and B, how aggressive he is, because he lost all of his track position by getting bounced around a little bit. So he's had some time to cool down a little bit, but I imagine he's probably still a little hot under the collar. And we were talking about rivalries in the pre-race. It's going to be interesting to see if he decides that there is one between him and a couple of drivers out there.
Absolutely, but man, look at this. We have Jose kind of putting a gap between him and the guys behind him. I think the 41, I'm not sure if that was a mistake on his part to not pit or what was going on, but he is definitely holding up the field behind him, I feel like, just a little bit. Don't get me wrong, this guy was on pole, fastest lap out there for the night going into the race. But he did make up some positions on pit strategy. He's holding out okay so far, but Jose is looking pretty good out here in first.
Oh, he definitely took 2 tires there. He would be way off the pace if he hadn't. But he is also definitely holding these guys up, running that high line. And it's just really, really hard to pass a driver who's pretty equal on speed. It's not going to take long for that to completely swap around and for that 41 to be struggling. And I think the 18 is just trying to be patient here. But as we say that, he is getting taken 3 wide by TomTom, and he gets loose in the middle.
I just saw some contact at the final parts of the field there. Somebody had contact and made it into the wall. They managed to save it, but man, that was rough looking out there. Behind Jose, though, we got some guys looking like they are trying to make it 3 wide, just getting crazy. Expert Toaster, he looks like he is about 6th place at the moment. He's got the 32 of Cappy Go Fast in front of him. He's got TomTom Flitty, and we have the Bolt out there. Into the wall, we have Toaster into the wall. He's trying to get that off of there, but man, oh man, for a couple of seconds, we have the 21 of Pro Boss trying to make his way up through.
The 32 got loose up top of the 8. They got into each other. The 10 gets into the 41 a little bit again, but no real harm done there. The 41 finally falling back to the field, and I think at this point he's going to start dropping like a rock. But right now, the 18 and the 10 are going to set sail and try to catch down that 43.
Absolutely. Pro Boss in the 41 of Doc. These guys make a little bit of contact that sends Doc up the track just a little bit. Man, these guys are aggressive tonight. They are just at it. We have Pro Boss and the guy underneath them. Let's see if we can take a look. Sometimes I hate changing views. It doesn't like it. But we're currently on board with the 8, and man, he is all over Freaky Fast in the 4. Getting a little squirrely up there from the pressure behind him. But these guys trying to make their way through the field. A little bit of contact with the 51. Crazy stuff out there so far.
This is an absolute cluster of cars just trying to get some track position and get ahead of each other. And right now, the 21 did a great job to work his way through there. He is now up to 4th, the 32 of Cappy Go Fast in 5th. And we haven't talked about the 51 all night, but he's worked his way into 6th and in a position to kind of latch on here and maybe grab hold of the leaders.
Absolutely. Is a long line here tonight. Some of these guys are starting to get just a little bit separated. But single file line starting to form as they are trying to find their way through. But man, oh man, at 24 car into the wall, we have Doc falling yet further back through the field. We have the 4 car into the wall. Freaky Fast. I feel like he's having yet another hard night. This guy has all the speed in the world, but luck has not been on his side yet this season. That 24 car of Rocky Top looking pretty solid out there, but man, he had the wiggles a minute ago.
Now things are starting to get a little bit single file, but man, that was a wild little moment there in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, it's just clean, smooth sailing for this front 7 or so as they're lined up and trying to check out on the rest of the field.
Absolutely. We talked about that 51. That is Johnny Rocket. He looks like he was moving pretty well earlier. We have the 32 of Cappy. He is currently driving behind Pro Boss. These guys are making their way through the field, and it is getting very interesting behind him. I'm going to see if I can make my way through the field back here. We have the 37 of Pack 24. We heard of him in the driver spotlight earlier. He is driving next to the 24 of Rocky Top, trying to draft his way up and try to catch that group ahead of him. They're gonna have the work cut out for them as they try to maneuver through. He's got quite a few guys behind him, including Ramsett, another driver spotlight of tonight. As we hit 25 to go, a long line for these guys, and it includes Dohar, who is lapped down along with Tedeschi.
Meanwhile, that group of two, the Bolt and the 10 of Toaster, they were able to draft up to Jose, and that group of three, that was Pro Boss, Cappy Go Fast, and Tom Flitty, they have been able to draft down those guys, so we now have a big old line of 6 guys that are right on top of each other, and the 10 car is starting to get a little bit loose on the exit of these corners.
You know, I was just watching Tedeschi. He had some contact almost with Dohar. Almost lost it there, but got right back in line. Had a little bit of contact with the wall, and as I see that, we had another guy have some contact with the wall. He manages to take it back off down the track, and off they go. But it is a long line, J-Mac. We have, it looks like, seven cars out there trying to stay up in this front pack here.
It is right now the 32 and the 51 lagging back just a little. I think that 8 car is really, really strong. He's been able to work his way through the field a couple of times. He's lost some track position and managed to find it back. Remember, he grabbed the lead earlier in the race and was pulling away from everybody and then got the apron. So I think he has a car that is a little on edge, a little wild, a little bit of a wild child, but it's also really, really fast. And he is trying to make a move here on Pro Boss. Don't think he's going to be able to make it because he doesn't have any draft help here, but he's definitely being aggressive and trying to make his way up to that lead.
I hear you on that. Drift, what's up? He says, what lap are you on? I will try to find that out for you as soon as I can.
10.
Yeah, I saw that, J-Mac, when you said that. I feel like the 10 is a little aggressive tonight. He is just, he's on the move, and he is not going to take no for an answer. He's going to find his way through there. But that hurts the 21. Yeah, we have 21 going to the pit road. We're probably about on that cycle to hit pit road, but hopefully we can get a lap count here. But Jose still holding on to the lead while we have the Bolt in second. Let's try to take a look back here. We have 10. It looks like he is currently sitting in fourth. We have 8 of Tom Flitty. He's currently sitting in third.
Yeah, I think the Pro Boss, he got the wall there. I don't think he liked his car too much. Oh, and the 18 cuts off the 8 coming to the pit road. The 8 did a great job of getting in there. Made up 2 spots. Looked like he got down to speed. I don't think the 18 knew he would be there, just cut him off, but great job of holding on to their cars.
Absolutely. That was 20 to go, so it is right at pit road, right at pit stop time. So we'll see a lot of these guys start to go in. I'm trying to find Jose. I do believe we're going to see him go in.
He's still out there, and he's about to come in.
He's about to go in, and I think that he's going to have some takers to go with him.
And he's on now.
We see the 88 of Dohar, who's had an extremely tough night tonight. He is currently on track. Let's see if we can find the leaders as they are on track. Freaky Fast in that 4 car, another one that has not had a ton of luck tonight. Pro Boss, he was the first taker of pit road. We're riding currently with him in that 21. He is one to look out for. We saw him last season at Homestead, and he made a run for it. He's looking pretty good so far.
I was flipping through cars, and I got to the 88 right as he was getting in the wall. I think he was just trying to make room for guys that were trying to get to pit road, and he, on worn tires, just rode the wall a little bit. Might have just hit the wall just out of principle, out of frustration with the night. Just trying to take it out on his car a little bit there, but just a bad night, continuing to compound a little bit.
You see the 18, he passed Jose as he was coming off a pit road. Just shows you what a lap later can do, along with 18 might have had a better pit entry. He is currently your leader, I do believe, and he is making a strong run. He's got, let's see if we can take a look. I hate it when they don't show me the cars I want. Give me the cars. There's so many guys coming off a pit road here. We have the 18 as the leader. We have Tom Flitty in second. We have Pro Boss sitting in third, Jose in fourth, and it looks like Expert Toaster in fifth. These guys have been pretty competitive all night tonight, and they're doing pretty good as we're in stage 2. Final parts of stage 2 should be about 18 to go, I would say. But we'll get a for sure a lap count for you. But looks like Bolt is coming up on traffic up here.
And that is not, I don't think that's what the field wants to see, is that 18 car out front, because I think that is the best car on the long run. And if they have to work to catch him on the short run, that's just that just puts him in the that just gives him the advantage later on here as we come to the end of the stage.
Yeah, MDL is currently in front of him in 42. That was 15 to go, so we're coming up on the final parts of the race here. But 18 definitely has a strong car. These front guys are now pretty well spread out, but we're going to have second, third, and fourth. These guys are going to get together and run down Bolt. I mean, we have second place of Tom. He's definitely got some draft from that 18 now and running him down. At 42, I feel, was holding him up just a little bit. That was just enough to let these guys catch up to him.
It was, and the 42 is really loose, and he is not giving an inch to this 18 car. Not helping out the leader at all, but he's trying to race, trying to stay on whatever lap he's on, but he's going to lose yet another lap here and fall into line. But it looks like he's going to try to race that 18 car back.
Yeah, 13 to go, and he is not letting off. You see, he pulls directly in front of Tom. I'm not sure I would appreciate that too much if I were Tom, but he's going to have to make his way around. That does not hold him up at all because they are here, J-Mac, and they are directly behind the Bolt, ready to put on the pressure. Tom wants that lead. You can see the 21 back there. He is too wide. I'm trying to get up there. Let me up there. He was too wide with Jose for currently third. These guys going side by side.
Tags the wall hard.
Pro Boss able to get around him, no problem. Jose directly behind Pro Boss, but MDL is falling back. There is a current fight for the lead. You can see it up there. Tom and the Bolt fighting as we hit 11 to go. It is going to be very
big
tight.
wreck in the back.
Huge wreck.
88 head first into the wall. There's a yellow now. The
That
4
is
looked like he was involved. That's a lot of cars involved in that one. I think the 22 might have been involved in it. I don't know if he got damaged from it, but I think he was a part of it. Maybe the 24 car. That's about where it was. But man, the 88 hit that inside wall hard.
He has just had an extremely rough night tonight. Along with last race, he got hit coming from a guy coming off pit road. That ended his night and chances for a win, as he was, I believe, third at the time. Tough break for him here at Homestead. We have a new leader though, J-Mac. We have Tom Flitty out front. He was able to pass the Bolt right before we came for the caution. But here we go. Let's see if we can get our way back to the front. You see Tom on the inside. We have the Bolt on the outside. These guys are off and running already.
They are, and like the 43, the 8 has had an awesome short run car. We're going to have to see right here if he has a good enough long run car, but it might not matter here for the end of the stage because I don't think we have that many laps remaining.
It is going to be very close, but Tom pulls out to the lead. We have Pro Boss on the inside, the Bolt on the outside. It is going to be very close. We have Jose in the mix. We have Expert Toaster in the mix. These guys are very tight racing as we have 7 to go. Look at this battle for the win. We have Pro Boss. He is on the inside battling it out for the lead here as we have Tom Flitty on the outside. We have the Bolt on the outside. Pro Boss brings it up high and dives it down low. Great move on his part, but can he hold on to it as he drifts up Might make some contact. He's got some contact with Tom Flitty on that high side. Man, that was close. Great recovery by Tom right there.
I think the 18 let the 21 in. He was gonna slide up there. He was gonna make room for himself one way or another. And but he is trying to get around that 8 car. The 8 car driving that defensive line in the high line, and he's gonna be really, really tough to pass.
Proboss all sorts of aggressive right now. He currently has a nose out ahead of Tom as he is bringing that down low. But Tom is going to have a nice run coming off the corner as they make contact. 5 to go. Proboss gets a great entry going into the turn, but Tom, he's got that beautiful run coming out of the turns, and that is going to help him make a run for it. Proboss tucks back in behind Tom there. Man, these guys are battling it out. Look at this run. Absolutely
Tom's
incredible.
off his line. He tried to block.
We have somebody in the wall back there. I want to take a look. We don't have anyone wrecking. I'm not sure who that was in the wall, if that was Dohar, but they are off the field just a little bit. But man, oh man. 10 in the wall. We have guys almost to the apron. They are saving it. But man, these guys are aggressive tonight at the end of stage 2.
Finally got some points on the line, and yeah, these guys are racing each other really, really hard. But this battle for the stage win is heating up, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch here.
3 to go. Jose dives it down low, dives it back up. I'm not sure he knew where he was wanting to take it. He is currently stuck behind the Bolt and Proboss. There's not much he can do at the moment as these guys are side by side. We have somebody in the background diving down, way down low. Very close call for these guys. I gotta give them credit though. They are making some amazing saves tonight.
So the 41 with the 8 starting to get maybe a little loose off, or maybe he's trying to pull the 21 past the 18. It looks like Proboss's car is starting to fall off just a little bit. That 18 really fast. He should have the advantage, but he just hasn't been able to clear the 21 yet. Some fantastic racing, and I'm sure Tom's enjoying it too, because it's letting him pull away.
Absolutely. Those two fighting side by side. Huge wreck in the back, and that is going to bring out the yellow. We might end this under caution.
That
Incredible
should
racing.
be the end of the stage. I wonder who's going to get second.
Man, Tom getting some beautiful points out there as he had quite a nice lead as those two were battling for second place between the Bolt and Proboss. This has got to be one of my favorite races so far. Let's see what they can do, but that is the end of stage 2. We're going to confirm that right there. Proboss takes second. Close race. Beautiful points. I know, J-Mac. You gotta love those beautiful points. Looks like we are back for stage 3, the final stage here. We have Tom Flitty leading the crew off for the final run here. We have Proboss on the outside. Let's take a look at these guys. We have Jose on the high side, currently sitting in 4th. The Bolt hanging out front the entire night. He's out there currently fighting for second.
One driver to watch who is knocking on the door of the top 5. Oh, there's someone in the back who is wrecked really hard, and it was a blue car. I thought it might be the 88, but it is the 42 car.
42 of MDL not having a great night as Jose and the two.
Big wreck.
Huge pile up there. All of them just completely, man, completely brutal for these guys.
22 was in it. I was about to say the 22 was knocking on the door of the top 5. Tedeschi had worked his way back into this race, and he is immediately involved in a wreck as he gets up there. That is just really unfortunate.
Yeah, that was pretty rough, I gotta say. They all just got bumper locked together, and all 3 of them went straight to the inside wall. Tough luck for these guys. They're gonna have some damage to repair, definitely. But we'll see how they come out from the caution. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a blessing for Dohar because he has gotten a couple of passes to get back up on that lead lap. That is yet another chance for him. Can he make it happen from that?
Well, it depends on how many black cats he actually crossed, because if there's still a few more out there, that's hopefully he can make it up.
41 of Doc, he is back in action and currently sitting in 4th. Tom, he's hanging on to that lead out there. You see the Bolt currently sitting in 3rd. The high side holding Proboss, who's doing a great job tonight. This guy is certainly making his presence known.
Or no, the 3.
3 is trying to make his way back on track. If that is him back there, these guys are holding on to it. You see Jose and a couple others that were involved in that wreck. They are in the back of the pack. 51 has some contact with Doc. Gets shoved down just a little bit, holds on to it. And J-Mac, I said it once, I'll say it again. These guys in the recoveries are absolutely incredible. I said that was Doc, but I'm riding with Doc looking back. That was not Doc that he had that. I believe that was a 24 he had that contact with.
Battle for the lead, leading back up a little bit. Oh, and as I say, that 32 head first in the wall.
Yeah, I just watched that. Made it off of the wall and back on the track, but man, oh man, that is going to drop him several positions. I'm trying to find my way back up to the front of the field. Here we go with Tom in that 8. He has been strong all night. We have Proboss in 2nd, the Bolt in 3rd, Doc 88 currently running in 4th. It is stacked field behind these guys. Single file line almost all the way through, but man, these guys are not trying to hang out there. 8 hits the apron, gets back up the track. That is going to allow Proboss to make a move on that inside. Will he have a run? These guys are getting a little wiggly out there. It's going to hurt their run going into turn 3 here. J-Mac, we have 45 to go, and it has been action-packed so far here tonight. From what you're seeing so far, who do you think has the best chances to see victory lane?
I still think that 18 car is the best car in the long run. I think the Bolt is running a pretty good, smart race so far. I think he is the guy to beat right now, but that 8 car is really good on the long run, or on the short run. But the 21 is also, he looks like he can actually be the aggressor. I think his car falls off a little early, but maybe he's made some changes to alleviate that a bit. But right now, that 21 car looks tough, the 8 looks tough, but I think the 18's still the best in the field right now.
Yeah, we have a huge battle going on. We have Proboss trying to make his way out to the front. Tom doing a heck of a job defending his position out there, but in the back of the field, I see Tedeschi back there, and he's got some cars kind of going back and forth trying to keep it stable, and they are just having a heck of a time back there. But Tom looking pretty good. We have Proboss in 2nd. We have the Bolt in 3rd. Let's see if we can make a visit back here. You're looking at Freaky Fast at the moment. He is down low, and everyone else is just riding that high line at the moment. He's going to have to try to tuck his way back in behind that 37 or whoever he can. He is just going to continuously get past, and he's going to have to go back in the back of the field.
Yeah, sitting in 7th, 9th, and 10th right now, or the 22 of Tedeschi, the 99 or the 88 of Dohar, and the 43 of Jose. Those 3 drivers, we usually see it up front. Right now, they have been relegated to the middle of the pack due to incidents, but they're still in it. They're still part of this main pack, but with a lot of damage and repairs they've had to make, it's going to be real tough for them to hang on here in the long run. But they can keep some track position, maybe get a short, quick dash to the finish here at the end of the race. They're not out of this yet. They just need a lot of help.
Rocky Top in that 24 trying to make a move for 3rd. He's going side by side with the Bolt. Let's take a look at this battle brewing up here. He doesn't have quite the run that he needs, and as I say that, he is moving up just a little bit on that low line, but that high line, I'll tell you what, you get that beautiful run coming off the turn, and there it is. 18 is going to have the momentum coming off that as he heads into the next turn. 24 is going to stay tucked behind the 18. That's where you kind of need to be at the moment. This high side is definitely rolling. Anyone who's tried to take that inside by themselves, it has not worked out. So the 24 car is just going to have to wait for another chance to make it happen.
Ooh, that's hit at the 41. These two have made contact once already in this race, and they had just about got together again. Slowed both of them down a little bit, and that's going to give, I think Toaster's going to lose a lot of positions here if these drivers up top of him can stay lined up.
Yeah, like I said, oh, look at him trying to tuck it in right in front of Dohar. That was a close call right there, and as he loses it,
yeah, and
Dohar,
the 88 was not going to let out.
Yeah, and you have a big wreck right there. I don't know that that's going to bring out a caution. I mean, these guys are still moving incredibly enough.
It doesn't seem to have. It took out pretty much the back half of the field. But the 43 made it through there unscathed somehow, and the 10 just a really aggressive move to slide up in front of the 88. And I don't think the 88 was very happy, and he stayed in it and tried to bump him. And instead of getting the 10 loose, the bump got him loose, and that ended up taking out a whole bunch of those guys.
Yeah.
But just some real aggressive driving and some tempers flaring, which, like we talked at the beginning of the race, we're gonna start expecting that here.
After seeing what happened last race with Dohar and the Bolt, really make something happen with him and Toaster. Toaster is making those aggressive moves tonight, and it hasn't worked out so well for him so far. We'll see if he can make his way back through the field, but I see you. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the race tonight. Tom is on fire. This guy came in tonight, and he's doing a heck of a job holding on to that lead so far. These guys running single file.
Ooh, the 24 in the wall.
24 in the wall. These guys kind of scatter out just a little bit. Pro Boss making yet another run for the lead here. Has a little bit of contact. Tom gets squeezed to the wall. 21 takes the lead. Can he hold on to it? He's going to have some help behind him as Pro Boss is solo out there on the low line. 8 gets that momentum going on the high side, and he will have that momentum coming off the turn as Pro Boss is by himself on that low side. He's going to fall back. He's going to fall back hard because he's got a long line on that high side.
Yeah, I think that 8 car is one of the best cars in the field on the short run, but is one of the weaker ones in this front group on the long run. The 21 is really good in the middle part of the race. He's able to hold his own, try to make passes on the bottom, and then that 18 car is really good on the long run. So 3 very different cars, 3 very different strategies and styles up here battling for the lead. But and the 88 the 18, gets the wall, got loose, and the 41 riding behind him had nowhere to go. The 41 has just been in the wrong place at the wrong time so many times tonight. Nothing of his making, but he keeps making it to the front and then losing a ton of ground.
I am heartbroken for Doc tonight. I mean, he got on pole here, obviously had an extremely fast car. No luck on his side tonight. Gets punted off the track after a guy gets loose. The Bolt trying to make his way back up through to the front. Tom trying to keep these guys out of the draft. Bolt trying to search for the draft, trying to find his way back through, but looks like we have the 8 going into pit road. That is your leader. The Bolt going into pit.
Some of these guys were not ready for it.
No, I feel like that was a last-second decision based on our leader going in.
And I think the 18 might have, he was not happy with his car. He might have made a last-minute decision here. Right now, battling for the lead is the 21 and the 22 of Tedeschi. Brian Tedeschi taking the lead here.
Where did Tedeschi come
rough
from?
of his night as he was damaged before I got into the race, and here he is taking the lead and up racing amongst all these guys.
Close call going into pit road. That was looking pretty
Gonna be
crazy
interesting
out there.
to see if he sped.
Yeah.
If the 21 bumping him made him speed there.
Oh man, after tonight's race for Tedeschi, that definitely will be interesting. We have our leaders coming out off of pit road. We have the 18 coming off of pit road. Who is that in front of him? Is that the 8 of Tom?
That is the 8 of Tom Flitty.
Tedeschi did not get a speeding penalty. He is good to go after getting a bump from Pro Boss back there. But these guys are good to go.
And now we've talked all night about the strengths and weaknesses of a bunch of these cars. I think the biggest thing going for the 8 car is that he's probably the least damaged of any of them left in the field. He hadn't, to my knowledge, had to repair anything. I think his car is pretty clean. The A-Team just got in the wall. It probably wasn't enough to repair, but it probably is enough to hurt his speed. So this is definitely going to be interesting to see how this works out. But I've been saying the 18 might have been the best of those cars racing for the win. I think it shifted back to that 8 car.
8 car is incredible tonight, I have to tell you. I'm currently on board with 22 of Tedeschi. Kind of came out of nowhere after a rough start to the race tonight, but he's got Expert Toaster right behind him. He's going to need some draft help. These guys are going to have to work together to make it up to that front pack. I mean, they had a fantastic pit entry for Bolt and why is my mind blank right now? For TomTom. They both had an incredible pit entry, and those guys are just off and running, so the second pack really has to get together and make their way up there. And we have a guy going right in front of him as they are coming back to get on, and man, brutal for them.
That distracted, I believe that just distracted TomTom enough that he lost his place in the track. Maybe got a little higher than he wanted to. Maybe got out of line, got into that little area up against the wall where the track kind of grabs you, and got real loose. This pit road has been really difficult for these guys to exit on. A lot of them have been trying to run the
access
service road. Yeah, the access road, the service road, and most of these guys have been just pulling up on the track out of pit road, which is not as safe, but it's also a lot easier to do and a lot simpler to run. I think some of these guys thinking that they're just going to try to stay out of the way are taking the service road, and it's getting them into trouble because they're not used to doing it.
Right. We have the 8 car trying to run down the Bolt once again after almost having contact with the 51 after he is merging onto the track. Very, very close call. Nothing bad happened besides TomTom losing that lead. He is trying to make his way back up there. The Bolt is going to have to do some defending, and knowing the Bolt, he is not going to have any problem doing just that. But man, look at how much time that he just caught the Bolt with that. He's got such a strong car tonight. Incredible run for him.
Yeah, TomTom is really, really tough right now. Really strong. He needs to make this pass really quick. Even with the damage, I still think the 18 a little better on the long run, but I think he needs to make this pass right now so that he can then later on in this run have the ability to play defense. As you see the 18, he's taking that defensive line around the top right now. This is going to be a really tough pass to make, and I think TomTom needs to make it pretty quickly.
J-Mac, there's a lot of movement going on behind these two. I saw 21 go below the apron. He made his way back up but lost a little bit of time. We have the 22 who's getting a little squirrely as he was racing side by side with Toaster and Jose. Those guys were almost 3 wide at one point. He has since passed both of them as the 21 of Pro Boss trying to catch up to them. But we have about 20 laps to go. This is it, guys. This is the final parts of the race. Not much more to go here. I'm not sure if we're going to see another pit stop. It is going to be very close. Either some of these guys are going to have to save, or they're going to have to go in.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is a lot of these guys that are getting damaged are trying to loosen up their cars to counteract it. And I think they might be going a little too far, or it might be really good on, firing off, but then once there's a little bit of wear in the tires, the balance might change for them. So I think that's an issue a lot of these guys are getting into. The 21's gotten into the wall a couple of times tonight. I think pretty much everybody has gotten into the wall a couple of times tonight.
I think so.
But I think that might be what we're seeing, and why we're seeing these guys getting a little bit squirrelier, a little bit goofier, and having a harder time holding on to their cars, is because I think they're having try to be a little bit aggressive with their adjustments to kind of fix their car and kind of fix the handling of it.
Absolutely. I'm thinking we're going to have another pit stop for these guys unless they are just saving a lot. But I'm curious what their strategy is going to be. It might come down to strategy for these guys, depending on how many laps they have left on their fuel run. But man, oh man, we have two up here of the Bolt and TomTom. They have a pack of 4, and they are just back there racing side by side. They really need to get in a single file line if they want to catch these two, and they can definitely do it. They just need to make it happen.
On both straightaways this past lap, TomTom has had a heck of a run on the 18 and opted to stay behind him, so he might either be fuel saving, either to try to make it all the way or to shorten up that final pit stop, or he's just trying to save his car and he's not really worried about making the pass right now. I think if they're gonna have to race it out here hard, I think it would behoove him to make this pass right now. But if he's trying strategy, then riding behind here in the 18's draft and just taking it easy and saving his car might not be a bad strategy. But now he's in the wall.
We're hitting 19 to go, and these guys, their fuel run is about 20 laps. So we know that these guys are going to have to go in again unless they are just saving that hard. But it's going to be very interesting for this final part of the race. We do have the Bolt in first. TomTom, after contact with the wall, he has fallen back a bit, still in second. But man, look at these guys fighting those 4 spots. We have 22 of Tedeschi on the inside. We have Toaster on the outside, along with Proboss. We have Jose on that outside. These guys are just switching positions constantly. They are fighting with each other over positions, and they're falling back from it. So we're going to see what they can do. Mordog says if they're pitting within a 6 to 7 lap to go range, then the guy that can take half a can and no tires wins. We're going to see. I mean, Mordog's in this league. He is really great on strategy, so we're going to see what happens. Tedeschi going in.
Sorry to interrupt you here, Frozen, but we have the 18 trying to lap the 88. See how that goes. The 88 is slowing down the 18 a lot. He hasn't tried to wreck him yet or put him in the wall, but he's definitely making life difficult for him, and that has brought the 8 car right back to his bumper.
He is definitely not making life any easier for him, as he has a completely squashed car right now. But he is going into pit road. Bolt gets on by, and Dohar is going into pits. We have 16 to go. We have the 8 of TomTom currently in second, and he is just still riding behind the Bolt. He is going
the 18,
down underneath,
and
he is about to go in. Absolutely. We're going to see if 8 decides to stay out. That is TomTom. Will he come in side by side with Bolt, or is he going to stay out? And it looks like these guys are going to go in together. Great entrance for these guys. Pit strategy is everything now. If I were them, I would just be taking fuel, no tires. Same thing that Mordog. I've learned that 2 tires is not the route to go. It is just very, very hard to control on the track. You're better off just taking none and just a splash of gas and get moving.
Yeah, you could maybe throw a really aggressive wedge adjustment in there to counteract the looseness from putting 2 tires on there, but that's a shot in the dark, and it's really easy to miss it.
Absolutely.
Especially with all the hits these guys are taking to their cars. So no tires, probably the smart choice here. The 8 is going to beat the 18 out by a fair amount, it looks like.
It looks like. I mean, he had a great pit stop there. I don't know if that was a strategy call or just a great pit stop, but man, he gets out first. We're going to see TomTom Flitty come out here as the leader if all these other guys are going into pit. 3 passes by.
Yeah, he's got about a half straightaway here.
Yeah, he certainly
Almost.
does. Let's see if we can make our way up here. We have Tedeschi contact with the 3 and the Bolt. Very, very close, but he manages to hang on to it, and Tedeschi is just on the move as a guy enters the track. That is Proboss. They go 3 wide through that turn. A little bit of contact between the 22 and the 18. 22 passes him up. Incredible. Incredible race.
And TomTom is loving this as he is pulling away from these guys, bouncing off of each other.
Absolutely. You can see him up there above 22. Very, very close to cutting the nose of the Bolt, but he's got the 3 of Blue Baca directly behind him. A few other cars behind those guys as they're trying to make their way through. We see Pro Boss back there almost into the wall. If not, he did make a little bit of contact there, but we have TomTom on the move, and this guy is making a name for himself here in this race.
Yeah, he is pulling away. Almost disaster again for the 22. He's worked so hard to get up to second, and he almost ran over the 21 coming out of pit road. The laissez-faire pit road exit rules causing a moment of trepidation for some of these guys, but they were able to get through it pretty nicely. And right now it's a 2-car race. The Bolt is gonna have to work here, or not a 2-car race, but it's a 1-car race, to be honest. These 2 behind him are gonna have to work with each other to catch him, but I don't know if they have enough time to do it.
Yeah, I want to get a lap count here, but man, TomTom is doing a great job out there. He really needs the Bolt and Tedeschi to battle it out. That is what he needs. It's almost 10 to go here, so it's going to be very, very close. But those guys, if I were TomTom, I'm just thinking you guys just need to battle it out. Just keep it up. I want to get this win here tonight, and as long as they battle out, he's safe. But if they work together, they are single file at the moment. So if they continue to work together, he's going to have some trouble as we're 10 to go. Trav, what's up? Hope you're enjoying the race tonight. Good to see you out there. Close race, though. 8 is just quite a ways up ahead. He's got the 88 directly in front of him, though, so we're going to see what happens with that.
I have a feeling the 88 is not going to make that too difficult on him. I would think that he would just let him go and race this thing out. The 18 with an aggressive move underneath the 22. They get into each other. The 22 had to back way out of it. Probably got a little loose in that contact, and I don't think he's going to appreciate that too much. But the 18, I think, is much faster and has decided it's time to make some aggressive moves to try to catch that 8 car, because working together was not working.
It was not working, and he wants his way out there. He is currently in second. They are going to have to work together, though. We see the guys of Pro Boss, Expert Toaster, and Pro Boss into the wall, comes down into another car, and he is off and
big
wrecked.
Contact.
A lot of contact. I don't know if that's going to be a caution since that is only a single car. I don't know how Jose held on to that, but man, oh man, he did a great job. Look at how far ahead he is.
Whew. My 3 guys lost a ton of ground. There is that group that he was running with is a full straightaway ahead of the next group. So he only is going to end up losing a couple of spots out of that deal, but still completely out of a fight for what could have been a really good finishing position.
Yeah, frustrating for him. We have Expert Toaster behind Tedeschi, and then Jose behind him. That's like your top 5 right there. We have 6 to go. TomTom has such a huge lead. These guys are really going to have to get it together. I don't think Tedeschi at this point has the car. You see him falling off of the Bolt. Bolt is just moving, and Tedeschi, with all the damage he has incurred tonight, it's just going to be tough for him to hang on to that.
Yeah, I think that 22 car is Frankenstein's monster right now. It's probably got some wild adjustments in it. Probably got a bunch of some yellow dots on his little damage indicator. That thing is, he's just trying to nurse that thing home and trying to hold off those 2 drivers behind him. But God, that 8 car has come alive this race. I did not see that coming. We kind of got flashes of it. He was able to work his way up, and he was battling with these guys at the beginning of the race. But since about the halfway point, he has just been one of the 3 or 4 cars in this final stage. He has been absolutely dominant.
He has. The 88 moves directly out of his way. He is going to help him out. I'm curious if he's going to try to stay in draft behind him. He is falling back, though. That 8 car, these guys can't keep up with him. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job out there. You see the Bolt back there in second. You see Tedeschi in third, and Expert Toaster and Jose. They're all back there quite a bit of ways. I don't see these guys catching him. If he can hold on to it and keep that thing in line, this guy's going to take home the win tonight at Homestead. And it's 3 to go, so he doesn't have much more time to hang on to it.
We have twice in this race seen the 8 car by himself lose it running up in the top lane. So it is possible, but it would take that for anything to catch him. I believe he's good to go, barring his own mistakes. But the 18, I think, is pretty well locked into second. The battle right now is for third, as Jose is looking underneath that 22 of Tedeschi.
Let's see if we can safely go back there. This camera is going back all over to everything that I don't want. So we're going to hang on with the 8 for now. But as J-Mac said, and this is why I always say, if he can hang on to it, because you never know, anything is possible. So if he can hang on to it, keep it clean, and keep it off the wall and off the apron, this guy has had the strongest car out here so far tonight, and he's done an incredible job. He might bring home the win. Second place, it's going to depend on Tedeschi and the Bolt. This is the white flag, guys. One more lap, and we're going to crown a winner here at Homestead for the 4th race. Can we make a 4th different winner? We've had 3 so far. I want to bring home another winner. We've had Jose, Dohar, Tedeschi. Can we make a Tom tonight? We're going to find out as we head into turn 3. We have the 37 in front of him. That is TAC 24. We heard from him tonight in the driver spotlight. Here he comes rounding the final turn. He's going to come up here. It's going to be incredible. Absolutely
the Bolt finishes second. Tedeschi holds off Jose in a heated battle for third. Those two are going at it pretty good. But excellent job by Tom Flitty to win this race, to hold off the field, and he ran probably the cleanest race of anybody, and he definitely deserved that one.
Tom is your winner. We have the Bolt in second, and we have Tedeschi after all the stuff he was with tonight. He brings home third. Great racing, though. I gotta say, it was action-packed from beginning to the end, and Tom just had the car to beat tonight. What a great run for him. He's got to be so excited. I can't wait to get these guys in the booth, but I'll tell you what, Tedeschi to drive back up and bring home a podium finish, great job to him.
To be damaged and behind the pack before I even loaded in to somehow come away with the third finish, that is a heck of a fight. But Jose, he was buried in the pit road barrels, and he somehow came home with a 4th. So some really strong drivers fighting back for some really good finishes there.
Absolutely. We're gonna get these guys in the booth. We're gonna talk to them and see how their race went, and how they feel about the tonight, and hopefully get a preview of what race we're gonna hit next. We might not find that out until midweek as we move on to NASCAR Heat 4, but incredible race for these guys. We have Tedeschi. We have all 3 of them. We have Tedeschi, Bolt, and Tom. First, I want to say congratulations, Tom. Incredible run for you tonight. Great job for the win. How was your car feeling out there? I feel like you had the fastest car out there from the looks of it.
It was definitely fast, but on the long run, if you were on the bottom, you would get really loose, so we'd have to all start moving up the track there, or else it was, it was going to cause cautions or people spinning out.
Right. There was a lot of people that were getting very loose out there. Did you have any points where you were getting loose, or was it just about keeping the nose clean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you guys were following like the lead between Bolt and I think it was the last stage, a couple of times coming off the corner, I would just completely lose it and drop below the apron. Then I'd gather it up and kind of run them back down with the help of the draft, but we were both pretty evenly matched.
Absolutely. It was a great job. You're not full-time as far as I'm aware, so incredible for you to come in here and just make a huge run for it. You did great out there. So it's cool to see that what a great lap time and everything else that you had. So a huge congratulations to you. Are we going to see you make another appearance this season?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think from here on out, I'm basically gonna be starting every week. So
Oh,
I ran the
nice.
last couple of races, but had
Right.
bad luck. So probably didn't even notice I was in the race, honestly.
We knew you were
Plus, the
out
car
there,
looks
but
exactly the same as the 3 car, Blue Baca. So
It does.
we're kind of like twins out there.
you are. You are definitely, but great run for you tonight. You definitely had a car to beat out there, and I'm glad to see you out here in Victory Lane.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys. Definitely appreciate it. It was a fun race. Good way to send off Heat 3 for sure, and looking forward to the new game.
Absolutely. All right, J-Mac, you want to give an interview to our second place of the Bolt?
Yes, sir. Howdy there, the Bolt.
Alright.
So, it looked like you had maybe, by my estimation, the best long-run car out there. You were able to stay with everybody and then make some nice passes there. And once your tires got worn, late in the race, you got maybe a little loose, got the wall a little bit. Did that change the balance of your car a little bit at all, or did that affect the way you wanted to run the race there?
I'll tell you what did change the balance of the car.
The
was
88
that?
pulling up in front of you.
So what happened was, me and Tom were going into pits, and Tom hit the back of my car a little bit. I didn't get any damage, but a whole screw fell out from the platform, and I was just holding on to that the whole
Are
time.
you serious?
Yeah. So I couldn't really be as confident when racing. It definitely hampered my confidence, and as a result, I ended up hitting Tedeschi by accident. I made a move there because I felt like I was faster, and it was a dumb move by me. It was all my fault, and we ended up having contact. And I tried saying sorry, but my mic wouldn't unmute itself. But yeah, it was all my fault there, me and Tedeschi. But I just made a move. I got tight. It was so awkward. It was so weird. But I mean, I hung on like a bad boy, but. I mean, either way, I think Tom was really fast anyway. It was probably the one that me and him were, pulling away from the whole field there. So I congratulate Tom on the win there. Very well deserved. Me and him having a lot of fun in practice, and Tedeschi in third place. And yeah, that sucked. that's horrible. But it's good final race of Heat 3 going to Heat 4, and thanks to Interstate Batteries, Joe Gibbs Racing, and everyone. And yeah, hell yeah, yeah, that was fun.
Well, yeah, you did a good job with whatever. With that doesn't sound like it was much fun.
I
honestly.
tried, man.
But
it was hard.
It
Yeah.
sounded
but,
like a dump truck,
but, yeah,
honestly. Clunk, clunk, clunk,
They'll
clunk, clunk,
definitely
clunk.
add some of the.
Felt like fun, yeah. And also,
Yeah.
as going on, I want to say thank you guys for continuing to stream these races as always, and I'm sure Heat 4 is going to be a fantastic step forward for this league in the future, and so I can't wait for what's to come. So yeah, really excited, and have college tomorrow, need a nap, and
Nice.
I need to drink some water. So yeah, thank you.
Drink up.
Well, you definitely had one of the fastest cars out there, and
Thank you.
ran one of the cleaner races of anybody, whether of their own doing or somebody else's.
I don't know. It could have been better, but thank you. Yeah.
But yeah. So, congratulations on the second place finish.
Thank you.
All right, Tedeschi. Rough start to the race there. Take me through what happened in the beginning of the race for you.
So won a bunch of chaos. So I guess to start, Blue had a wheel issue, and his wheel disconnected and wrecked all of us in the back.
Oh, jeez.
And then there was a little bit of a miscommunication when it came to using the access road, and people really weren't prepared for that. So got involved into a wreck because people can't take the access road, which is nothing that they're doing. It's difficult at Homestead, but we were rolling around there with 61 aero, 50 engine, and basically the thing was running 260 the whole time. So essentially,
Not
you just kind of had to
ideal.
ride it out. And really glad that we stuck it out. It kind of shows our perseverance, unlike some others in this league who like to disconnect after they get damaged and feel they don't have a shot anymore. So it was really good to persevere and get good points and get a third place finish out of this whole deal. So can't thank everyone enough. Team Penske Esports, Shell Penzo for all their support, my teammate Corey for all his help, and really excited moving into Heat 4. I feel like we got a really good car at Vegas coming up for the Pro League race and for the AKA race. And just like I said, I can't thank John Paul enough for all his support, you guys for broadcasting, and like I always say, AKA is the best custom setup racing league period on this game.
I gotta hand it to you. After all that happened at the beginning, and like you said, you held on to it and you came back to bring home third after all that. I mean, once I saw you out there in the front, I was like, where in the world did he come from? So huge congratulations to you on making your way back up through the field. It just shows the talent and the fight that you have, the drive to make your way up through there and not give up. So congratulations to you on a podium finish. Heck of a job out there.
I appreciate it. These are the type of days that championships are won or lost on. That's the biggest thing. Just you can't always have the best days, but you got to make the best out of the worst days for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. You guys heard it there. That's it for tonight. A great race at Homestead. It was probably one of my favorite races. It was packed full of action from start to finish. Next week we will be on NASCAR Heat 4, the new game. Most of these guys, they haven't played it yet, and they're all going to be on the same playing field for it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle it, what kind of setups they make, and how they handle it with 20 plus other drivers. I'm excited to see what happens, but tune in next Sunday to find out around 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, take it easy. Thank you so much for joining out tonight. I know they appreciate it. J-Mac, that's all we have here tonight.